Welcome to Belmont Sounds. My name is Burney, and today we are continuing our series on successful alum at Belmont. We are joined by Braden Detelich, and we are getting the opportunity to talk to him about his time at Belmont and beyond. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Okay, so because we're at Belmont, I have to ask, can you give your name, major, hometown?
Sure. So my name is Braden Detelich. My major, the full technical name is Audio Engineering Technology with a minor in music business. And then my hometown originally was Barrington, Illinois, but now Nashville native, I guess.
Just to hop right into it, what started you in DJing?
So in DJing, in short, I got injured probably around 4th grade playing lacrosse, and I had a bunch of recovery time, and I always kind of was in, the whole EDM music, really started listening to it, and I was like, hey, maybe that'll be fun to play around, and my parents at the time had an old iPad. They had like a little DJ app I started fooling around with, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of fun.
Who was like a most inspirational artist?
I'd have to say it probably was Avicii. He started blending a bunch of different genres and everything all kind of around and just said, do what makes you happy.
You start DJing on an iPad. How long until you do paid gigs?
Paid's the relative term because kind of like at the time I was probably like 13 or 14 and started doing, like friends' birthday parties or, like little neighborhood block parties. And it's like, hey, we'll give you, like $15, $20, starting to get into freshman year of high school or so. People around town heard you and are like, hey, I'm doing a party or I'm having this. Can we have you come through? So that was kind of the first start.
You DJ throughout high school and then you come to Belmont. Why?
Yeah. So always kind of had more of the DJ and production kind of background. So when it came down to thinking about college, I'm like, I want to pursue music. For the production avenue, what kind of is there? And that's when I started researching more about production, audio engineering, and saw Belmont come up.
During your time here, what was like the most impactful class, the one that you feel like really helped you?
The most impactful class would probably be master mix, because kind of from that, learning the fundamentals and everything helped out in terms of getting like the correct structuring and everything with that. Now that it was about creativity and doing it for yourself, which I felt helped because it's just like everyone, at the end of the day is like, be you, find your identity. That class, he taught you find your identity, be yourself, and that really helped.
Ever a time where at school here that you wanted to do more of the producing side or more performance side, and then how did you kind of pick what side you ended up wanting to do?
So it was a mix because the good bridge I found was the showcase series. Going forward around 2019, 22, I got in touch with the director at the time, Fallon, and she was like, hey, we've always kind of discussed maybe having to DJ as like an opener or something like that. Would you be open to it? And I applied and I got asked, and at first it was supposed to be, like a little 5-minute just kind of while the crowd comes to get going. And then from there, the set ended up getting extended to like 45 minutes. And then I got asked, I did the rest of the showcase series, that year, came back the following year. And from that, we're getting all these reach out from other, students, faculty that are like, hey, I'm a DJ, I'm a producer, how do I go? So it started helping kind of bridge besides just the normal kind of structured thought of a musician to there is a lot more out there.
They still to this day do the DJs before the sets. It's cool that you started it.
Oh yeah.
Like what? That's so awesome.
Thank you.
When I think Nashville, I think country. So what is like the EDM world like here, and were you able to kind of like find your place?
Same thing. Country will always be the primary genre, home of country music. But the cool thing, at least now, is before, rather than everything was more kind of independent genre, there's so much collaboration going on now that is helping bridge the links. Like Kane Brown and Marshmello did, One Thing Right and everything. So then all of a sudden, you're at a country show and Marshmello, as one of the top 100 DJs, is performing there too.
When did you start making like your own music?
Started making my own music, same thing around 13 or 14, just fooling around, just for fun. But I started taking it more seriously in releasing probably around same thing, like junior year in high school. Senior year, I released my first actual like song by myself that was like, okay, I'm gonna put time in it, I'm gonna really try and handle it. And then coming to Belmont, it really helped, like, oh, this is why that happens and everything like that, to where it could get a lot more like label quality to say.
Have you ever thought about like redoing some of your first songs, like taking inspiration from them and like remaking them or something?
Yeah. That's all the time, especially now. I'm like, it would be fun to go back and do it and kind of see what happens now that I've grown so much.
Yeah.
And everything, and it helps. So it would be fun to go and do that.
What's been some crazy moments in your career?
Yeah, so some crazy moments. Probably the craziest one now would be the whole thing around the JBL and Martin Garrix Music Academy. That's probably the most surreal in terms of everything because, in short, with it, Martin Garrix, for those who don't know, he's, I want to say, the 5-time now #1 DJ in the world. He won top producer in the world a couple years in a row and everything like that. And just starting about 2 years ago, he started doing a music academy for up-and-coming DJs and producers. Martin is a really big philanthropist, so he does a bunch of different charity events, shows, everything like that. And the really cool thing is when JBL partnered with them, they're like, how do we, again, be different and stand out at the end of the day? And that's when they partnered with Martin and having his philanthropic kind of thing. I want to be able to bring people up at the end of the day who aren't really known, who don't have all that stuff, to help them launch. And they get thousands of applicants. They have those competitions to enter, and just out of a whim, I was like, hey, let's try it and see what happens. And luckily, somehow, I ended up getting chosen. So I'm one of 2 people from the U.S., and we get to fly down to, Amsterdam and do that whole thing. So that's probably
crazy.
The most surreal.
Do you know any of the other people who are like going? Do you know any of their like work?
Yeah, so I know a couple of them now. Luckily, like when we started really kind of going through, we all connected through social media. It's a global competition. Being global, all the people, there's people from India, Tokyo, France, Spain, all over that you really wouldn't reach out to or know previously.
How long is that like program?
So the program itself is about a week. Each day kind of focuses on a different aspect in the whole music business. They have the top in all of the business doing different master classes.
That's so fun. So it's like a 1-week boot camp of DJing.
Exactly. Yeah, in a way.
What is one area that you hope to like grow in through this like schooling experience?
Kind of more of the business side now. I found myself, graduating back in 22, it's always been kind of that one stuff. It's like, okay, great. I can make, really great music now. I can do all that stuff. And then you expect, okay, let's see all these, job offers coming in, and it's just crickets. How do you market yourself to make money or do it right? I feel like that's one aspect I really need to focus on if you really want to be successful.
Do you have anything to say to like college students right now, maybe who are trying to get into like the industry?
Yeah, I say really go for it. Because the whole idea behind it is if you're really passionate about it and going for it, at the end of the day, when you speak with them, they're like, we saw passion and everything behind it, and that's what makes the difference. You can always fabricate, a good song or something like that, but it's about having the passion behind what you're doing that connects and will actually keep you going. With personal philosophy, at the end of the day, I want to do what speaks to me. You can always follow trends. I've never really been one for following the trends. Like, again, it limits your creativity, and I'm like, if I'm trying to make it to sound like that, it just sounds like everyone else's. So that's kind of been my mentality and philosophy going about it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today.
Definitely.
That's so kind, and good luck on everything do with Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be so fun.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Belmont Sounds. I've been your host, Maya Burney, and we'll see you next time with another successful alum.